Tao, please come on stage. I think it's the 7th conference for Get Your Guide.
It is, yes.
You won the startup competition, I think, or when was it? In 2014 or 15 in London. And what a journey. So proud of you guys to have
Thank you so much,
done
and
so
thank
well.
you for always supporting us.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Tao. I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer of GetYourGuide. And in the next 10 minutes, I want to briefly walk you through how we're building the future of travel. Oh, now it works. Perfect. The key emerging consumer trend that we're seeing today across all industries, across all spaces, but none as profound as in travel, is that it is experiences that consumers are seeking. In fact, millennials, which is very well known, are buying increasingly more experiences over things, and it is experiences that our customers talk about under the Christmas tree when they talk to their families. And not only is this the most emotional market, we're also seeing that this is an incredibly huge market. Something that insiders have known for many years, but that is also known to the broader audiences, is that we operate in the 3rd largest category in travel. In fact, it is a $170 billion market and growing at twice the CAGR of every other travel category. What is most fascinating about this travel space versus, for example, hotels or flights, is that only 5% of the market is truly captured online. In flights and accommodations, more than 40% of all consumer spend is captured through aggregators such as Booking.com or Expedia's, versus in our case, all the aggregators combined is still very early, and this is a massive opportunity that we think we can still capture. I think one of the most interesting things is, while it is the 3rd largest sector in online travel, it is by far the most emotional one. In fact, when we started Get Your Guide 10 years ago and we were pitching at a travel conference in London, the overarching reaction that the travel judges gave us was that maybe experiences can become a nice attached product to flights and hotels. Fast forward 10 years, given the consumer trends and our traction, we're definitely seeing that it is in fact the flights and hotels that are becoming increasingly commoditized, and that in fact experiences is at the center of why consumers travel and what they do. So for the people in the room, I don't know if you remember which 3-star hotel you stayed in, or, well, probably not for this audience, or which low-cost airline you flew to vacation with, but you certainly remember the experiences and the tours you've booked. So maybe just a quick question, how many of you have maybe used Get Your Guide in the past? Fantastic. Thank you for your support. So every year it gets increasingly larger, and our goal certainly is to capture at least 100% market share in this room. The goal of Get Your Guide henceforth is, today we're trying to capture what is the core sightseeing markets in our space. The evolution of our company is to then broaden it into multiple categories, multiple experiences, and in fact, we think in the future build a holistic travel company that puts experiences at the center and then puts everything else around it. In order to get there, the key challenge of our space, and the reason why very few companies in the past have succeeded in doing this, is because the complexity is so huge and you have to master each subcategory in this space. When we talk about day trips, walking tours, attractions, city cruises, each of these subcategories are $10, $20, $30 billion macro markets, big enough to sustain most startups. And the key challenge here is that for each of these categories, you require a separate business model, a different technology stack, and different operational playbooks. And this complexity builds an immense moat for us in order to capture all of them, in order to build differentiation, consumer loyalty, and growth margins in all of these categories. At the same time, our challenge is to take this complexity and truly simplify it for the consumer. One of the key challenges in our space versus, for example, the hotel space, is the question that customers ask us. When you book a hotel, or when you book a flight, the only question you have to ask is, which flight am I booking, or which hotel am I staying at? In our space, the predominant question is, what should I do in Paris? What should I do in Bali? This presents a fundamentally more difficult and more challenging problem that we are investing heavily into with artificial intelligence, with our machine learning teams, to create truly personalized recommendations through an online experience, but also creating a personalized experience in the offline experience, which I will talk about in a minute. The goal here is really to make it really simple for the customers. The discovery piece is a highly complex one. Whether a customer wants to do an attraction or a walking tour, we have to solve that one. We're also solving the trust issue, particularly because we're operating in a service sector. Customers don't associate the experience they do with the local partners or the local suppliers, but they really associate the experience they do with us. In the early days, when customers would leave a negative customer review, such as, my GetYourGuide tour guide sucked, or my GetYourGuide tour guide was amazing, we wanted to educate our customers and tell them, hey, don't you understand we're a marketplace? But however, we saw this as a blessing and a curse, because the opportunity here is that if customers truly associate us with the experience, this is a tremendous opportunity to build brand loyalty. And in fact, we've taken this learning to push the next stage in our evolution, which is what we've called GetYourGuide Originals. GetYourGuide Originals are our branded, vertically integrated, fully controlled walking tours in 20 cities in Europe. We launched this last year with the idea to innovate truly not only on the online experience, which is what most online travel agencies do, but truly innovate on the offline experience. Our key insight is that if you think about tours, if you think about experiences, there has been no innovation, frankly, since ever tours were invented. The operating model was you hire someone who speaks English and hope it works out. We, however, found that by looking at all the different customer data and all the different customer complaints, what are the things that truly delight customers and have built the experiences around them? We've now scaled this over 20 cities. We've sold close to 100,000 tickets through our branded experiences. And more importantly, we've seen that the customer satisfaction is 30% higher on these original experiences than our regular tours. And these 30% presents an amazing value add that we reap in terms of consumer loyalty. GetYourGuide Originals is just one example of how we're pushing the envelope on innovation and execution. Over the last 10 years, we've led the way in connecting more than 25 million customers to more than 50,000 experiences worldwide. We have a team that is today more than 500 folks in 17 offices around the world and have received more than 650 million in funding in order to sustain our long-term vision that we have for the business. And the idea is very simple. We think that not only do we want to become a European champion, but we want to follow the example of so many travel companies in the past, but truly build a global champion that is made in Europe. Travel inherently has tremendous global network effects. It is very, very hard to build a moat, but then also very hard to dislodge the global leader in any given category. And this is already evidently shown in our growth in our emerging markets, such as the United States, or the Asia regions, where we're growing north of 100% in each of these markets. Last but not least, I think the exciting thing over the last 10 years is that we've really pushed not only in capturing market share, but also truly pushing on the innovation. We believe we're on a 100-year journey to build a company that is giving consumers truly access to incredible experiences. This is the last frontier of travel, and we think it is the most exciting one. So whether you are a partner, an investor, or a customer, we believe we are creating a journey that we can all look forward to. Thank you very much.
One question. When you guys started, there was the rebook question because you travel like 2-3 times a year,
Yep.
and people remember maybe not that they use GetYourGuide. Have you thought about launching like a bucket list product where the traveler logs in and can scratch off like the top sites by city to build some long-term engagement?
Absolutely. So we've created since then a wishlist feature where consumers can save their things. But really, when we talk to our technology teams internally, one of the jokes that we say is, we want to create a version of GetYourGuide that works like a Spotify playlist. The moment you land in Paris, you just hit play. And then the moment you depart, you hit stop. So the goal is really to, how do we capture the entire consumer wallet of their entire trip? So we know consumers do more than 15 activities per year, whether it's attraction tickets or experiences. Today, we're only capturing a small minority of that. And so even increasing the share of wallet within that trip and on the next trip, that's where we see the big opportunity.
And have you integrated like concert organizers, like a CTS Eventum, live events? You also have them, which are not like sites, but more like sporadic.
Absolutely. So I think you're pointing to this incredible opportunity that we have when it comes to multiple categories.
Yeah.
So today we're extremely focused on the core categories that we do, which is around core sightseeing, attraction tickets, walking tours, day trips, and hop on and off tours. We think that expansion into categories such as shows and events, outdoor experiences,
Restaurants, maybe.
restaurants, rentals, boat rentals, massive markets. But it requires this really incredible focus on technology and on your operations to do one category really well. Because if there's one thing we've seen is that you must master the consumer experience to create loyalty and brand.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tao. Say hi to Johannes.
I will.